let's see, let's start with the center. This is the focus for March for you, Sag. And this is Queen of Coins in reverse. So Queen of Coins in the upright position is someone who's very down to earth. She's very big-hearted. She's usually very trustworthy. She's generous. She's grounded. She's just the kind of person that I think of as like cooking a big meal for friends and family and children. She's usually good with children or taking care of animals or children. She's just very grounded. And she's also good as far as resources go. So in terms of money and finances, she's very practical, very sensible. So this could go two ways. This could either be the archetype of Queen of Coins, or it could be literally a person. So usually this is an earth sign person, Capricorn, Virgo, or Taurus. It also could be like someone who's born on a Queen of Coins day. You can check my Cards of Destiny on my website if you want to see who that might relate to there. And then otherwise, this is someone who holds the archetype of all those things. So sensibility, practicality, good with money, taking care of the home and hearth, someone who is good with, say, domestic things. There's some way in which that is in reverse for you during March, Sagittarius. So that could be meaning that you're not very interested in dealing with domestic matters during March. That is just not, that is under the surface. That is not where you're at. You're not into staying at home. You're not interested in managing stuff. You're not interested in, you're not feeling very grounded, potentially or possibly, because when a card is here in reverse, and I see you have a number of cards in reverse for March, it just means that the energy is there, but you don't have access to it. It's not available. It's a little bit suppressed. There's some resistance or doubt or fear, something that's holding it under the surface. So this could be, Sag, either an earth sign person who is out of the picture for March, or it could be like resistance or tension between them. They're not seeing things eye to eye with you, Sag. They're seeing things from an opposite point of view. So if you know of an earth sign person, you know, someone who potentially does have some authority, because she is a queen. This could be a family member, a spouse, a lover, a friend, business associate. For some reason, the Queen of Coins person is in reverse, and that's a central theme for March. So this could either be your own sense of practicality, domesticity, or it could be someone else, Sag. So that's one of the main things that's going on for March. I see in the shadow position, you have Six of Cups here. So shadow, again, means something that we don't have access to. It's something that's not in our conscious mind. It may be in our subconscious. It's something that's under the surface, hidden from view. It may just be like around the corner. But Six of Cups has to do with sweetness. It has to do with naivete, innocence. In the picture, there's two children. So this is like the innocent, childlike giving between two children. And it's when you're open and sharing your heart. Excuse my dog there, drinking from her bowl. Speaking of sweet temperaments. But it's just, you can see in the card, there's two children who are giving to each other. And when this is in the shadow position, it may mean like not having access to the sweetness and innocence of life. It may mean that sometimes I read this card in reverse as cynicism. So I'm just going to say there may be some cynicism or not feeling the childlike wonder of life. That's below the surface for you. That's in shadow. This can also mean like someone from your past, or feeling this childlike openness towards a partner. So this shows up when we feel like we can be ourselves with someone else, when we feel like we can show our innermost being to someone as we were when we were children. So that may just be blocked right now. That may feel like it's in resistance or in shadow right now. What's passing away, which I like, Sag, for you, is Tower in reverse. So whatever resistance you had to change, because Tower represents change, it represents transformation, it can represent a sudden change, It represents the old established thing crumbling down and being like torn apart by the storm. So when Tower has to do with sudden, dramatic, transformational change, and sometimes it can be chaotic too. It's when the old order gets challenged. And Tower in reverse means resistance or fear or doubt, anything that prevents that change from coming to the surface. What I like about this in the passing away position, it means that if there was any resistance to change, like if there was something that turned something upside down, you may have had resistance to it prior, but that influence is going to be passing away. So whatever resistance to change you were experiencing, if there was some transformational thing or some dramatic, because Tower is very dramatic, some dramatic change, any resistance, fear, or doubt towards that is going to be dissolving and going to be passing away. And what's approaching, Sag, for March is moon energy. Now, this is moon in reverse, but moon in the upright position means looking at what's illusion versus reality. It's a real card of fantasy. It's a card of allowing subconscious feelings to come up for evaluation. I always point out in this card that we have the dog and the wolf, which is the domestic side of us versus the wild side of us. So when moon comes up, there's always a question of what is real and what is illusion. So what is stable and consistent versus what is unstable and inconsistent. So when moon shows up in reverse, I'm going to say there's some way in which you may need to challenge your fantasies about something. You may need to challenge or reevaluate what you're interpreting as true and real and stable, or what is illusion. This may mean believing in some sort of illusion, Sag. So I want to ask you, as March approaches, since this is the approaching influence card, I want to ask you to really be open to looking at what's real and what is illusion. Because in the reverse position, it may imply that you're comfortable with the illusion. Like when I see moon in reverse, I kind of think of, there's a song I think that says, just lie to me, or, tell me what I want to hear. That's how moon in reverse feels to me. Like sometimes we accept things that we want to be real, even if they're not, when moon in reverse happens. So I'm going to encourage you to let your innermost feelings come up and your inner guidance for evaluation. What's real, what's not real, what's fantasy, what's illusion. That's going to be coming up for you. That's what's approaching for you in March. Then I see 10 of Cups highlighted, 10 of Cups in reverse. So this is in the upright position. 10 of Cups is joy, it's family, it's peace. It's like the end of the rainbow is landing at where you are. So there's a lot of happiness, a lot of joyousness, a lot of enjoyment when this card is present. In the reverse position, it says that it's there for you. Family, peace, joy is there, but for some reason, the rainbow is draining out. And there's some sort of resistance, block, fear. I kind of get it. I kind of get that it's related to this, the 6 of Cups, the fact that the 6 of Cups is in shadow. If there's any cynicism or any way that this innocent sharing of hearts is not accessible, it can really zap the energy from this. Like if this is family, and if this is love and celebration and joyousness, when we feel like it's not happening or we don't have access to it, it can really just feel like it drains our emotions. So I'm going to ask you, Sag, what is it about the family situation? What is it about your interaction with, say, your loved ones, your primary loved one, or you and your spouse and kids, or boyfriend or girlfriend? What is it that is preventing you from accessing this card in its upright position? There's some sort of block, some sort of resistance, fear, doubt. What's keeping you from that rainbow ending up in your cup, Sag? So those are your main cards for March here. And then I'm going to go through each week. This is mostly going to be the highlight. It's either that earth sign person, again, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, who's not seeing eye to eye, or you not being able to connect with the practical, down-to-earth resource management side of yourself. And then week one, is Emperor in reverse. So let's see what's going on with Emperor in reverse. Week 1 is Emperor in the upright position usually means law and order. It means someone who, following the rules. He's actually the one who issues the rules. And it's a real focus on boundaries. If you think of an emperor, he's got an empire, and he is about maintaining that empire. So maintaining the boundaries of the empire, maintaining how it runs, maintaining the rules and regulation. He's the ultimate authority of that empire. So when I see Emperor in reverse, there's some challenge to the regular rules of things, or there may be a lack of boundaries that's going on. There may be a challenge to whatever rules, agreements, laws, order, boundary that sort of have been in place beforehand. So this can also mean challenging authority when Emperor is in reverse, or not willing to recognize the rules that someone is handing to you and saying, those are not my rules, or I don't agree. That phrase non serviam, I don't choose to participate, I do not choose to conform. So there's something going on with not following the rules, or not establishing boundaries, or not enforcing boundaries during week 1. Week 2 is another 4 in reverse. Now fours are cards that have to do with stability, with order, with practicality and domesticity. Now it's interesting to me because this 4 in reverse and this 4 in reverse echo for me the domesticity, the home, the focus on the home environment, managing resources. For some reason, for Sag, I don't know why, but I'm getting that you might not be able to pay your rent this month. With four of Wands in reverse and Queen of Coins, who is in charge of the money, in reverse, there's something that is challenging to the managing of affairs of the home, especially when it has to do with regular laws, things that you're supposed to do, things that you're supposed to pay your taxes to the Emperor. So some of you may be having challenges with your taxes. I'm not sure how it's showing up, but with these 3 cards in reverse, the 2 4s, which represent stability, home, foundation, and then Queen of Coins, also having to do with home and hearth, foundational and money. There's something going on with home, and a challenge with home and the money. I'm not sure how that's going to show up for each of you, but that is a theme with these 3 cards. 4 of Wands in week 2 has to do with the home is your castle. Now, again, this is interesting because it's a parallel to this card. 10 of Cups and 4 of Wands both mean celebration, festivities, enjoying the family. Where they differ is that this is actually about the family, this is actually about the home. So this means celebration, festivities, surprise. Your home is your castle. Sometimes it has to do with wedding vows. We see the garland that happens with wedding ceremonies here. And so it's a card of ceremony, celebration, festivity, joy, surprise, and the home. But in the reverse position, it's telling me that home is not your happiest place, potentially, Sag, both with Queen of Coins in reverse and 4 of Wands in reverse. You may need to spend some time getting out of your home, because in week 2 especially, the home is not necessarily, it wants to be a place of celebration and joy and festivity. That's showing up for you. That is the card. But there is some resistance, some fear, some doubt, something that's challenging 4 of Wands from showing up in its upright position. So I want you to ask the question, why? What is it that's challenging my home from being my castle in week 2 of March? What's going on with the home and the finances and the rules, regulations, and boundaries? Is there someone showing up in your home that's not welcome? Is this a Queen of Coins person showing up in your home and breaking your rules? I mean, this could be Taurus, like I said, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. There's something that's focusing around Queen of Coins energy. And for the first part of March, that might be disrupting you. And it might be causing you to ask how you see things versus how they are. For week 3, you've got 10 of Wands in reverse. Now this card has to do with lots of hard work, effort. Sometimes it can be a card of oppression. And he's carrying more than his fair share in this card. So I want to ask you, whenever 10 of Wands appears, I always ask, what are you carrying that's not yours? What of this load that's breaking your back and causing you to get tired out is yours to carry, versus what are you carrying that's not yours? What can you put down that's not necessary? How can you lighten your load? So with this in reverse, you may not believe that you can actually put down any of these rods. If you've got a lot of irons in the fire, or if you're working on a lot of stuff, if you're carrying a lot of responsibilities, Sag, I want you to put down the ones that aren't yours and the ones that aren't related to you, and just deal with your own stuff, because this is carrying more than your fair share. This is dealing with more than what's yours. You need to just focus on what's yours, Sag, and that will lighten your load. Put down what's not necessary. And then look at where you end up at the end of the month, Sag. Free and open, triumphant. This is victory. This is freedom. This is feeling supported by the universe. This is the World card, which is the final card in the major arcana. So it's a strong card, and it's a card you can see where she's kind of like free and open and dancing in the universe. It's being who you are completely and being supported by it, feeling joyful. You can see this victory laurel wreath, and these are the four corners of the zodiac. You can actually see them echoed here. Here's Leo, here's Taurus, here's Aquarius, and Scorpio's over here. So it's like the four corners of the zodiac are all supporting you. So you're supported from all sides. So that's a wonderful way to end March, Sagittarius. It looks like there may be some struggles regarding the home or rules, money, boundaries, that kind of stuff going on. But once you put down what's not yours, once you let go of that and lighten your load, by week 4, things should really open up for you, Sag. And you do have some nice family energy, joy here, but you have to address whatever is happening that's keeping these in reverse, keeping this in shadow.